Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about um, propped up um, people and hero worship, and I guess the connections between the two. Um, I've talked to people over years, and um, you have friends or people you've known for a while, and you have discussions with them, and then maybe you might say something about somebody, some famous person, and you find out quickly that they um, have chosen that person as a hero, role model, or whatever you want to, however you want to put it, right? Put them on a pedestal, um, maybe even look at them as some kind of paragon. Um, and typically, it's usually someone famous, right? Someone far away from the person, like I've said, like on the screen, right? Like they don't know the person. Um, they only know them through um, television interviews or um, appearances on award shows or from their music or from movie roles, television roles. Um, they don't personally know the person, of course. Um, and if you say anything, um, questioning anything about the person, the um, this friend or acquaintance that you have, they get pretty triggered about it because they've invested their energy, their attention, and they've decided that whoever this person is their hero, or they here, like I said, hero worship, or whatever you want to, however you want to call it, describe it. And this person typically is going to be, as I said, some propped up individual. Um, one of these cult of personalities, right? And it's always like, well, and if you question anything about the person, well, then they're gonna just go ahead and deflect off onto you the things that they've accomplished or achieved, right? Um, whether it's a Nobel Prize or um, platinum selling album or um, number one hit, NFL rushing champion, uh, Major League Baseball league MVP, whatever the case may be, right? Or it's simply enough like this person's worth $1 billion, or and they use these things to say, well, what have you achieved because you don't have these things, right? Or and all of these things that they ever say about these people, they all have one thing in common, and it's always, I shouldn't say always, but in my experience of people that will defend these people, and like I said, have that hero worship, um, almost like syndrome. All these accomplishments, they're just things of this world. They're always going to be some recognition from the system, right? Um, More or less this thing that's running in the background. These are the rewards of this place, right? It's never anything spiritual. It's never anything, um, connecting to something beyond this place that's greater. It's always the things of this earth. Like I said before, it's either some kind of something based in money, or like some kind of award for like a Grammy award, or um, Oscars, or whatever the case may be. It's always going to be these type of things, right? And again, these are all symptoms of this place, and um, there's nothing wrong. I mean, we're, like I've said before, my thing is like, every person here, we're living this experience, and you know, you got to enjoy the experience, and the moments are the things that matter. And yes, as I've discussed before, we need the coin of the realm, whatever that may be, at any given time to live here, because we're in these bodies, and during the time that we're here, and for that case, we need, shelter. We need to pay for, food. We need to pay for, to sustain us. Water. We need to pay. We need to be paid for, right? Everything, none of those things are free. So there is a thing where, yeah, you do need money to live. But above and beyond that, for you to live at whatever level, means you have, like, some people, I wouldn't personally feel comfortable in my experience in life if I was living, if I was homeless. I wouldn't find, a level of comfort there that I'm really used to. Um, some people do. But whatever level that is, I guess if you were born, with a butler, maid, chef, laundry service, the level of comfort you're used to, and the things that you don't have to do for yourself, might be a lot different. It might be a lot less than your average person in the Western world. But at any rate, I guess that comes back to your own experiences and what you find comfortable. But anyway, my point is that, whatever that, do I have enough money um, to eat for today? Do I have enough money so I have shelter for today? For tonight. As long as you have those things, you know, you you have clothes on your back. As long as you have these things, you don't need, like billions of dollars or what have you. After a certain point, you know, how much do you need, right? Once you've gone so far beyond, that which you need to, to live here during this experience, how much more do you need? So how much, I mean, how many speedboats do you need? How many, you know, um, European sports cars? How many, whatever the case may be, what kind of, however many, rooms you have in a mansion, or, you know, um, how many models you, pay to be around you or whatever. I mean, it's kind of crazy. So I guess, going through that, and I look to my own personal experiences. I've known people that have looked up to people, and, like, I'm gonna go for a low hanging fruit here, but I'm gonna go with Madonna. Um, and I look at Madonna and I say, well, you know, was that person just a puppet? Like that Material Girl song. Like, was the '80s really like the material world, and she's a material girl, or was that song part of the thing to foster the idea or push it forward that, yes, it is a material world? Is that the propaganda, right? People listening to it, top 10 hit, so many units sold, played on the radio all the time, which is, at the time in the '80s, that was your, I mean, unless you had records or tapes, or maybe even CDs a little bit later, you know, over the broadcast, you had radio, you had MTV, so, how many times did the song play, over the course of a week, over the, all the different type of radio stations or MTV or whatever the case may be, the reach is broad and deep, um, and that's just being used as a puppet to forward, this, the plans and the agenda of this, I've called it before, this thing that's running in the background to move, society toward whatever direction it is, for division, to spread fear, to spread negative emotion, whatever it is, greed, selfishness. Um, and this person is a puppet through and through. I mean, that's how I feel. That's my opinion, and this person is just like, you look at him now, it's just like a melted disaster, whatever, how many plastic surgeries and all these things, and you know, all this person has is the past, right? Whatever awards, whatever, you know, like I said, however many platinum records or however many Grammy awards or movie parts or money made, but that's all in the past, right? I mean, Madonna might be sitting on a pile of money, you know, but what does that buy you, right? I mean, it can buy you a lot of material things, um, but what has Madonna gone for? Like I said, it just looks like a melted disaster. Plastic surgeries, you can't you can't retain your youth, like your looks, and the more you go toward trying to beat that back by um, plastic surgeries and whatever these people do, facelifts, tummy tuck, whatever you want to, whatever procedures they do, they're carving themselves up, and as time goes by, it just gets worse and worse, right? Person just didn't age naturally, right? So whatever they had is just it's pretty much just all in the past, right? All you have is just whatever fame you have, and you were just a puppet for the system, and you didn't learn anything, you didn't grow anything for that part of you, that spiritual part, right? I mean, I don't know what this person is on the inside. I don't know if they're the same as me. Maybe they have no soul. I'm not judging it based on that, but it's just for people to hero worship this type of empty, vapid type of entity. It's kind of sad. Um, for you to look up to something like that is, I think it's a shame, but I'm not gonna judge people on what they decide to, look up to or whatever. And if Madonna, that's if that person, that entity is happy with how they live their life, that's fine. That's their experience. I'm not gonna judge it, but at the same time, anything that has been achieved by that person is nothing I want to have anything to do with myself personally. You look at all these other type of people that have come up along the way. They're it's gone on through generations. It's more and more people in every generation. There's people that do the same thing. They sing the songs, they get the awards, they get people to, it's hero worship, and they don't ever seem to be doing anything but playing the part that they're there to play. Never talk openly in public about that spiritual side, that thing that's tied to outside of this place. Everything is just the rewards of here. Look at how much money I have, or the things I've accomplished, just the things of here. You know, um, Now you got these people popping up all over the internet. You have these, they call these nuisance streamers. They're out here. They're bragging about the money they make, the views they have, the followers they have. All of these things are, again, just rewards and things of this place. And the more, I've said before, the more people that you can deceive is the greater the rewards. But the only rewards when you do that are the rewards of this place. Like the song Cult of Personality, Neon Lights, Nobel Prize, right? You know, when a mirror speaks, the reflection lies, right? And like I said, that's low hanging fruit to talk about these, pop stars, these internet nuisance streamers. But you also have other people too that are on the internet, and you know, just beware of people trying to sell you fear. Like people say this, the fear porn, right? Um, Saying that, oh, something's gonna happen, like on a certain day during a certain event or sporting event, or for sure, this is gonna happen, or you need to you need to um, you need to buy gold and silver. You need to buy these you need to buy this food so you can skunk it away somewhere, or you know, squirrel it someplace, bury it or whatever, because the grid's gonna go down and all these things. You know, hey, natural disasters happen, and sometimes you lose power for a protracted period of time, or these things do happen here and there, and in different places. But I feel like once you cross that, it's like a Rubicon, right? Like you're talking to people about things that you observe, and like what you view as truth. And once you go over that line and you start trying to sell fear, and you monetize it to where I just got to question people that, like, hey, like, you got to buy this, food product that's like, you know, uh, you can store it for 25 years or whatever, or, you got to buy gold and silver, or, once you start going into that, then I start to wonder, like, what are your motives? Um, and so anyway, like I said, things, famous people that get a lot of views, whether it be in the mainstream, or even if it's within the internet, within, you know, what people would call a truth community, or whatever that even means. Um, just try to boil it down, look at it. And you don't have to agree with me on my opinion on certain people or whatever it is. My take is simply just look at it deeper, ask questions, question everything. Don't take anyone at their word. Don't take me at my word. You know, um, just question it all, and then take whatever facts or points come up to you, and see what resonates with you. You know, and like I said before, just walk your own path, and just hold on to that's part of you that's outside of this place, that's bigger, that's larger, that's part of the everything. You know, and then by just having that attitude, you're gonna just treat people with respect. You're just gonna live a more fulfilled life. I feel like um, you may not be you may not end up being a billionaire, by doing that, which you probably won't unless you're born into the money. You know, um, but you know you you can have what you need here, and you know in the afterwards. And so I guess that's about it. And I'll talk again later. Thanks.